Here's my review for Jedi Starfighter. Going a little retro again today. Let's do it. Alright, so the story. It takes place between Episode 1 and Episode 2 for Star Wars. Duh, because it's called the Star Wars game. And you play as a Jedi and you play as a space pirate named Nim, and it's a sequel to regular Starfighter, Star Wars Starfighter. I never played that game, so I've only played this one. But I will say this out of the gate. If you are looking for something to scratch that Rogue Squadron itch, and you have a PS4 and you want to play some old games, Jedi Starfighter is going to be a good one to go into. So the story overall, just serviceable for the action. It's not anything particularly in-depth. It is enjoyable. It doesn't hinder the game in any way. And I will say too, there's some really good CGI cutscenes in the game. I mean, they look notably older, but they're still pretty good, and there's some action scenes with them too, so I like that. Good presentation over around, and a pretty decent story. So the gameplay consists of flying several Star Wars spaceships and getting into a lot of different dogfights. It is very reminiscent of Star Wars Rogue Squadron, a series that I love, and I really love to see it come back or get re-released. Just something. Come on. You re-released the first one on the PC, let's get that on next-gen consoles. Why? Because it's a fantastic series. But back to Starfighter. It is a lot of fun and the controls are still good. That's something that can cause a bit of an issue, is when you play some older games and the controls, you have to have you have to be able to go into it and be like, okay, I can't expect them to have the modern controls of today. But when they have some stuff that does go with modern type controls, you're kind of a little bit impressed. And for the most part here, the controls are really good for this game. I will say, not as tight as Rogue Squadron, but still really good. Stop comparing to Rogue Squadron. We're talking about Jedi Starfighter here. So the gameplay has aged really well. I really enjoyed just flying around, shooting other spaceships, other land vehicles, droids, all that stuff. All that was a lot of fun. And it's really intense sometimes. Just so many ships on screen. That's the other thing that impressed me. It's just like there's so many at times when you're in these fights and you're like, how am I going to take everyone out? And as the Jedi, you get some neat Jedi powers. One in particular, you can pop up a shield so you don't take any damage. One of the really cool ones is you can shoot off Force lightning, but you're a Jedi, not a Sith. Hey, I'm not talking about anything with the story or things here or whatever, or inaccuracies with why they're able to do this. Maybe I missed something, but either way, the Force lightning is really cool because you get a bunch of ships clumped together and it'll chain lightning all on them, and then it just... That is very satisfying. You also get an ability later on in the game to be able to slow down time. This is good because if you're trying to really take out one of the big starfighters and you're coming in on them, you just park up the speed, then you get the slow-mo on there and you just unload with all your lasers and missiles and just keep going at it. Very satisfying and a lot of fun. Now, as you're playing the missions throughout the story, what's neat is there's these bonus objectives that you can do. And what I like about these bonus objectives is that if you complete them, then that helps you progress to be able to get unlockables in a game. I know, unlockables, not DLC, but like, shit, you can actually earn in-game. I really love that that's in here. And it's back from a time where every game had this. It was like, oh, extra costume, earn this, beat the game on super hard. Oh, you get this, do this, that, and the other thing. Go around here, go through the water level like that one, then go back, play the game in reverse, and then you unlock this. I miss that kind of stuff in games and being able to go back and play some of these older games that have that in there. It's so cool. And especially in a game like this, you start completing some of the bonus objectives and you can unlock the TIE Fighter from the original trilogy, or one of my favorites, the X-Wing from the original trilogy. Now this doesn't just reskin your Starfighter in the game. The sounds, like as if the X-Wing is firing off its lasers from that particular ship, you can hear that in the game. So it's not just, oh, it's just this ship with the X-Wing skin. It's the X-Wing, and you can even close the foils and open them up while you're playing it. I love that they put this stuff in here. And you can unlock Boba Fett's ship, or Jango Fett, one of the Fetts. You can play that. But I like that these unlockables are in there. It gives you a lot of reason to go back for replay in this game, especially if you haven't played it before or you're looking to play it again. Lots of good stuff here. You can also play the game in split-screen co-op, and I love split-screen co-op. I think it's the best thing ever. I'm starting to try and dub it Joe-op, but whatever. Kind of lame, but also kind of cool at the same time. But what I like is that all the missions you can play in split-screen, and I think that's really cool. That also adds to more replay with the game. Oh, you have a friend come over, they haven't played Jedi Starfighter before. Be like, hey, come on, load up, sit down. We're gonna play this whole thing together. I like that that's in there. You don't see split screen all the time now, and whenever I get it in a game, I'm always happy. The music is also really good in this game, especially when they're playing John Williams' score from the prequels. It's really good stuff, and it's always great to hear his music. There's some original soundtrack work done in here, and some of the pieces are particularly good. They impress me. Some of the stuff, not so much. So I would say, I'm like, you know, if you got the license for the John Williams music, just use the John Williams music. He's got enough intense stuff that he made for Star Wars that would fit action scenes. Just use that. Put the money that you would put into a new soundtrack, put that into more levels. You don't need to do that. I mean, unless you didn't get the license for John Williams, then yeah, make your own soundtrack. But you did, so only use him. That's what I'm saying. This is an enjoyable game from the PS2 era. It's just a lot of fun. It's very simplistic. You go around maps shooting all these different starfighters. You get to fly a lot of different ones. The music's really good when John Williams is playing. You get a bunch of levels to play with, lots of unlockables to earn. It's a really good game, especially if you're looking for something a little bit older and you never played it before. So I want to say thank you very much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, and if you'd like to see more content like this, please subscribe, and may the Force be with you.